All right, everybody, let's get started here for Thursday. Welcome, everyone. Harmonic Pattern Podcast here on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays, about 11:45, 12 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock. It's going to be 12 o'clock. Welcome, everybody. And here on a Thursday where we've got some eventful action happening on a few different cryptos. Ethereum rolling over, almost failing an insanely important zone at about 17, 1800. We were under 1800 briefly today. Whole bunch of patterns here. We could look at a couple of different 886 levels, but I'm really focused on essentially holding 1690 is the exact number. Otherwise, this will continue lower. I mean, it's just not the problem with what's been happening for the last 2 weeks. Just simply no response. It's Let me jump right into Bitcoin because that is more than anything else just showing you nothing. I mean, sideways action here. We know the story. We have a crab pattern. Checking back, all of those numbers are 28.5. I said this Monday and Tuesday that, uh, you know, if we need to go up and do a type 1 reaction now, it's not like type 1 reactions are allowed to do more than 10, 15 bars of garbage. Anticipated move of 34, 123 is wouldn't be much, but if you're going to just roll over and find yourself in another day or two going back into this zone, that's not what you want to see. Not at least not within expecting this to really follow an ideal completion path, because when these roll back over and they start to go deeper into the zone and just seem to slide, which that's what this is doing, then you're going to go back to your XA level. You're going to go deeper until you get some kind of confirmation. Unusual. So big shout out to everybody in the chat. Welcome again. Great to see everybody. I'm glad this is kind of developing into a thing and people are getting a lot out of this. Basically, I need to direct you to the basic membership. So it all starts at harmonictrader.com and just sign up and then go to the basic members page. Everybody that's watching the videos or here today or both, get with one of the programs. I'll go through what we're looking at today with Nasdaq because coming right off of a major level now with a huge individual price action potential this afternoon. We'll talk about that, but I think best place to start is with the TradingView platform. So if you're new, take the trial. Really easy to hook up with this and then watch the patterns and work with the patterns for give yourself a week, 2 weeks of just getting used to how this stuff unfolds, what we look for at the completions, and and you're on your way. It is not an easy environment, and even to be trading, I've been saying trade the reactions. We haven't seen a reaction in Bitcoin in the better part of 14 sessions. Really, I mean, we've been in this insanely tight 2,000 point range for the better part of 14, 15 sessions. So understand that is, that's something to take note of. That is where when you're in such a squeezed environment, there are no signals. You're not triggering out of here. What it's suggesting is that it's going to take more time. And then when Ethereum did what it did this morning, looked like that thing wanted to just do a nosedive under 1800. That's not, especially after spending, not to mention 8-10 days sideways and then roll over again. A lot of things seem like they're right on the edge, and that's goes back to what we talked about on Saturday. where all of these levels, it is the make or break. It is the either or, the bullish bearish scenario. This is pretty much last ditch bullish possibilities before kicking up a much longer, larger scenario that we really talked about on Tuesday. Kind of hammered out what those possibilities might be. Here's another one that just seems to be, again, doing another nosedive where ever since this Gartley on Hex, it's been straight down. Now, a couple of patterns with on a longer term retest, secondary retest, but I think I wouldn't really touch this until it gets to the 886 all time. It's just cycling like that. Nothing personal. It's just if you're looking for this and you think this is something, the way that we would look for this cycle to end is down here at that 886 level, which is around 5.5 cents. And then maybe get a 382 or even a small 236. Some kind of bounce. That would be sizable off of that low. But until then, folks, I mean, this is all crypto. The problem with the crypto is when your daily time frames are failing, your 4-hour time frames fail, short-term reactions. I've been saying this. You have to go to the longer-term time frame because that becomes your target. Where what those failures suggest is just a larger cycle at work. Again, yeah, that's 5.5 cents. You're 7.5. And we've been on this since 20. That's a devastating Gartley too, by the way. We typically don't see these. This is the home run scenario in the one-off move. You know, you get pattern completion, terminal bar check back right at 20 cents, and then you lose 60, 70% of the value in a very short period of time, less than 30 sessions. So be aware that this is happening to all of your favorite crypto, no doubt. And let's go to quickly Cardano, which did a little bounce up to 55, roll over. Cardano and Hex kind of similar. Cardano actually leading the way down off of that retracement pattern of a bat pattern. Hex was Gartley. But after that little bump and rollover, nope. And so we need to do the measurements. We need to kind of, let me get a longer term chart. There you go. Binance feed. I think Binance is probably the best broker now. They're probably better than, I think they're better than Coinbase, probably even more reputable now than Coinbase. And their data feed is tops. So I've been looking more at Binance charts, by the way, just to keep as a kind of a side issue. 37 cents is your all-time 886 on Cardano. You're trading 49. Till we get there, it's off limits. It's just off limits. There's nothing there. Not to mention, this is a weekly chart. I don't care what asset you're looking at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks down is not only a bear market. I mean, that's extreme acceleration. Hopefully you get capitulation somewhere here. You almost want a pretty steep candle in the next week. Remember, really quick, folks, next week is a holiday. So no session on Monday. Just to let everyone know that Monday's a holiday. No session Monday. We will be back on Tuesday. And yeah, I've got a little special for everybody towards the end. Software special for Memorial Day weekend. I'll come out in that in a second. But it is Memorial Day weekend coming up, and markets will probably be pretty quiet into tomorrow. I'll get to the Nasdaq and the other markets of why we have to rally here. If we don't rally here, it's forget it. Same with crypto, but crypto is probably in an uglier scenario, uglier situation, because once you get past the top 3, 5 crypto, the rest are full liquidation. Not only full reset, full liquidation. Here's Algo. It's Coinbase feed. Okay, once we get up to the 886, it's like this. Algo 886 is around 39 cents where it is right now. Okay, but nothing. I would need to see an individual bar. This is one of the things I wanted to talk about today as well. That what is the price action we need to see when we hit the measurements? We know the levels are strong. We know that we have various hop levels, pattern levels. We have to respect them. I mean, it just is not, can't get out of the way of them. But we need to see the response within that window, as always. What's here on Algo? Well, you're at an all-time 886. Okay, good. Satisfied that structure. Give me one bar after the fact. You have to hit the number and then go bullish. Do we have anything here to the right of that? Nope. We're another candle, another week lower. You don't want to see that thing close under 35 cents for Algo. And of course, next month, this is the other thing, you very well could be at the end of a major washout. You're hitting 886s on the monthly, but how far will that go? And the other aspect of the monthly close is, and this can be applied to all of them, where does it close relative to the 886? For example, Cardano, if it goes down, hits the all-time 886, it hasn't yet, and can bounce off of that on a monthly, let's say in the next week. Very possible. But if not, or a close under the 886, it would be ugly. It would be like the scenario we talked about where you break numbers and then you're still going to need 6-8 months sideways action, where there's really very little opportunity. One or two more on the crypto space. Of course, Binance Coin. I feel like this has been the strongest. At least this guy's not saying he's going to take your crypto in case of bankruptcy. Whether that's the case or not, I just think it's this is a pretty sound outfit that doesn't seem to have too many problems. Knock on wood. But here's Binance Coin anyway. And I don't think it matters. I don't think, if crypto liquidates, and so that means if Bitcoin goes to 20,000, the rest of them will do the 886 and you'll finish the cycle. That's what I want everyone to kind of put in the back of their cap, if you will. Every one of these is not immune to a potential 886 retracement. All of them. On Luna, it was the case where we're looking for the all-time 886 and it just collapsed. They're not all going to be Luna, but there's going to be more Luna. Unfortunately, you're not there. I mean, you're not. Here's Bitcoin Cash doing the same thing. Another cycle, all-time cycle, 886 on Bitcoin Cash. Yeah, just hit it, 236. But what did it do when it hit it? And that was a week ago, 2 weeks ago. There it is, 236 on Bitcoin Cash. Sorry, let me bring that up. There it is. That's the bar. Well, there's the candle, the close under 215. That's exactly what I'm talking about of these long-term measurements coming to fruition. The individual price bar that hits the level, that matters. Where it closes, that matters. And then what are the next two bars? Down and down. You would have plenty of time to respond Even if this was like a massive bounce off the 886, you would almost want it to be, but you're still going to have 2, 3 candles that will kind of show you the way. And when you're diving into something like this, 7, 8 weeks down in a row, it's just, you know, you have to be cautious until you get some clear signals. Let's jump over to Nasdaq, because this is the number one development in all markets right now. I'm going to say it: successful 3-bar reversal off the hop after 7, 8 tests under the hop at 11,848. Everyone knows 11,848. I kind of obsess about certain numbers. This is why. And we only had one close that was under 11,848. Still no confirmation. What I think is going to happen here is you're going to go into some kind of type 1. Here we are on amplified, looking like it wants to try to go to the 50 and get out of the zone. That would get you at least back up into the zone. That would at least get you enough gas, if you will, acceleration, to have some follow through, where even if you just kind of nominally come back up into here, this is probably some kind of small reaction until Harmonic Strength Index comes into play. So this thing is so oversold. It's a unique condition, and I said this on Tuesday. The historical comparisons of only having this kind of weekly action since the 1930s, 33, 12, 10 weeks down, 8 weeks down, whatever it is. On the Dow, Nasdaq's even worse. We're oversold. It's oversold. A little bounce, a temporary bounce, a bounce into the summer maybe. That's what I'm thinking. This 3-bar move looks like this on an illustration. It's like this. There you go. You come in, bang, 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 and get a 3-bar, however it develops. But what you're looking for is essentially a completion of the pattern, and then some kind of turnaround, individual bullish candle with follow through. And if you get something that can come in here, bang, 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 have a pretty tight bunched up range, and then have a breakout with a close above that 3-bar range, that's a good thing. That's a good start to at least what was almost a major failure. It was going to die. This Nasdaq would die, and still will die, if we violently fail these lows. For now, you can have a reaction. And why I'm saying this is because the individual price action in this case, 7, 8 days on the hop, 7, 8 bars on the hop is a better way to think about it, because it's the same if we're looking at a 5-minute chart or a weekly. This is a daily. That we can get some kind of reaction off of here. Maximum move up to target 1 still remains. This is early stage type 1 up to 14,259. That would be a hell of a move, by the way. I think because everyone is short, you catch everybody off guard. Here's a couple quick ideas. Tesla, I've been talking about this. I think somewhere in the 650 area generally you want to be looking. Right now 708. I'm actually long Tesla. It's a weekly, sorry. It's this. It's a weekly bat pattern. There you go. 886 is 626. Still early in that development, but I'd be looking at that by the week's end and into next week to give you a turnaround follow through, where by the summer we're going to target 1 territory. I don't know what's going on with that HSI. That bothers me. Here's the other one. Zoom, trying to get out of this 100 level. It's a massive pattern. I've talked about this before. Um, Again, another situation where a individual breakout, a weekly breakout under this area, then can be the start of something. Zoom was as low as 80. Your 886 was at 121. That's a wide range, no doubt. And it's not really one where we can say the hop is relevant here because the hop is actually negative 13. Essentially, what we're looking at is this grouping of consolidation to be the low. Notice how about 95, difficult to get underneath there. You go something like Zoom on a 60-minute chart. It's already coming off the low. Yes, there's a comment there. Don't we want to see harmonic strength index? We do. We definitely do. We're looking for reaction trades off of these lows. That's the thought. Here we have, I've mentioned this before, the weekly pattern again. The big number at 122, okay, does not have any confirmation on the weekly yet. The daily, we traded as low on that first move again as around 95. So not surprised to see this thing come retest that low, those lows, no confirmation. I think the daily chart is a better one to look at where you're saying somewhere under 110, 100. Where's HSI? Where's HSI? Since March, here's the last two. There's a bearish, nothing. This is on a daily. Bullish at about 104. We're looking around 95 to 100 area, which is, okay, down at 88. A little bit lower than we want, but keep an eye on it. We're trying to trigger something like a 4-hour or hourly pattern in here. Yeah, you're hitting a bat pattern right now, bearish. Keep an eye on this or these type. They're overdone. At least the ones that have patterns. Here's another one. I actually took a long on this, Starbucks. So basically 71. Here you go on a daily time frame. Hop level is 72.20. It's a deep crab. This is a lot like Nasdaq 100 where you had an initial move. Said initial move. Fix this. There you go. Initial move there, but then rolled over. Now, this is definitely a sloppy setup because look at where the confirmation came in. Right there. Somewhere around 80 bucks. But no move out of the zone, no move, just sideways action 30 bars later. The downtrend into the zone, that just broke out like this. So really you're just starting to look back in April and come all the way down to the hop level. It's if you go to the 4-hour time frame, maybe it was 60-minute. You have a bunch of things right at 72 on top of this. Where'd this go? Let's see which one this is. I think I'm confusing this with something else. Let me come back to this one. It's not the scenario I thought with Starbucks. I'm definitely confusing this with something else. Let me look here one more time. I might be confusing this with Intel. Really quick, let me go to Intel. Sorry. Starbucks definitely has a pattern. No confirmation there yet. Let's take a look at Intel and the chips. All right, yeah, Intel has, this does have HSI, not in the best area, but you have multiple patterns down in the 41, 40 area, and that is it. Let me go to the weekly. Several of these, as you see, the major stocks have huge patterns on the daily, if not multiple patterns. Intel has this kind of crazy bat pattern longer term. Take a look at what's going on in the weekly chart. Bat pattern, crab, pause back, and then you have this other crab pattern. This is what Intel was all about. Now I remember. Intel was a monthly, there you go, monthly 886 with this crab pattern. And take a look at what happened. So this did perfect type 1 reaction off of the crab. And we have, that's what it is, we have a couple of short-term patterns back in this 40 area. I think 40 bucks, really easy way to remember that. It hit target 1 this week. So structurally, the monthly reaction is over. That's pretty big, at least from a reactive standpoint. I like that. So be mindful of that. That's in a slightly better position with it longer term on the monthly and the daily. And then here's the SMH semiconductor ETF. There you go. Hold on. Should have a crab here. This is running really slow today. I don't know what's going on. Bear with me 1 second. What is happening? Not sure what's going on, folks. Sorry. Really slow. Let me look at one other one, AMD. This on the weekly, on the daily. Not 2-day, sorry. Here's daily, AMD. And this is like a lot of them. Big bat pattern. Check it out, how many days we're here since terminal bar. That's a lot. A lot of hammer out action. But still okay for type 1 trade, and this might be something to consider where you're at the 886, which is 93.40, and today you're doing a 3-bar for sure, but maybe be looking for call options into the summer up to 120. A lot of these, if we can get the breakout into the end of the month, that would trigger this larger move where a straight 20 plus point segment lives. And not to mention, look, you've got prior unfilled gap, and this one with this kind of action stabilization, look, once we pop 104.25, it's, you shoot the gap and you go to 119.50. Whole bunch of these are, I think, in a great spot where at a minimum you might as well be looking for that. Here's the Qs, triple Qs, same deal. This has got a couple of patterns that HPC's generating, one on top of the other, all of them essentially off the action of the last year. This hop level on both the alternate bat and the crab essentially lining up 290 on the Qs 2 days ago, we had the check back. And now this is the kind of price action we want to see after the fact. We talked about this on Saturday of the sequence of events we want to see before execution. And we want HSI, that check back, successful check back, which happened. Why? Because we have this bullish candle, the pink arrow generates on the close of that candle. Then we get one final divergent move in the zone. I mean, it is the kind of the penultimate event, that second to last event before the move. That's absolute point of precision for all harmonic pattern situations. Sometimes they happen in 3 to 5, sometimes they happen in 20 bars. But with the confirmation, that's the trigger. We can utilize some prior low, something like that. Anything under 280, absolutely. This is done. But now that we've get this, not only that turnaround, check back, bullish candle, because that would be important too. That's, after you get a real sloppy pattern completion, and then finally, like a delayed confirmation, as I was saying with other extreme price action, wait for the single candle. There'll be plenty of price action. Maybe buy it on the breakout or buy it, within today's candle. Now shooting, we should see this thing do a serial over bar move up to at least the zone. And again, I'm thinking 347.49 at target 1, maybe by June, July. Think about that. 2 months, 3 months out. And if you get a sizable move, take it. Should be the reaction from here. No doubt. Couple more. Google, absolutely. Still in reaction territory, folks. That's all we're dealing with. Google, when's the split on Google, Togs? J Togs is saying, what about Google? They're splitting when? July? June? There's your weekly on Google. What are we going to do? Not much. Where's HSI on this? HSI is about to trigger on Google, which is a good sign. You do want to see that. You want to get that kind of support behind you. The other thing that we have to see for in the next week is what happens here on amplified RSI. Does that take another 2 weeks and give you a complex formation? At least you're deeply oversold, trying to come out of the zone, and HSI has done the work for you. So this low at 2044, that should stick. We'll get some kind of signal, but it won't be till the close on Friday because that's weekly. Your daily time frame, is there anything down here? Not really. No structure, no pattern. You might see more volatility as this thing starts to trade after the split, but no pattern there. Yeah, not yet. I'll go do some crude oil in a second. One more. Here's something that I said there was no pattern in it on the daily. On the 4-hour, Airbnb, as it turns out, does have a deep crab that just completed. So someone asked me about that, and I want to be clear about this. There's nothing on the daily for Airbnb. On the 4-hour, you did hit this. And you're doing a 3-bar breakout today on the 4-hour time frame. So don't be surprised and don't yell at me if this does a counter trend rally back up to target 1 and then come back down. There was some confusion on that. One or two more. How about Coinbase? What the heck is that going to do? Is that going to go bankrupt and take all of our crypto? 70. Boy, that's a real capitulation, or that better be a capitulation. Daily time frame, deep. Look at this. Oh, how come we didn't see this? What are we doing? Holy smokes. Have we seen this before, anybody? Look at this Coinbase deep crab pattern. I'm nuts. Hop level at 49.76. Look out. Okay. I think there's more evidence. Even if you're terribly bearish, which I still am to a lot of degrees on many things. I don't have I knew, had a real keen sense that we would be dealing with a malaise of problems, which we are this year, but this is where you got to kind of separate that and start looking. We got to start looking. That was I tweeted that yesterday, and I think that's something to look at. Let me see if I can get this here. Let me bring up the tweet from before, because I did say this yesterday, thinking that possibly, is there a bottom in? And that was about 24 hours ago. And a lot of people are saying, no, no, no. Look, I'm just saying bottom for now. When I see stuff like this and it's reacting off of a hop level, this will take like one day, one breakout day, and we could be on the cusp of it today where we go back into the zone at a minimum. This is just so overdone, folks, that at the moment you stop going down, you have to start looking. That's just kind of, it's not fun. It's not funny, and it's ugly on the weekly chart. But we are so statistically on so many relative measures, and then when you see things getting destroyed like this, and then you've got patterns in your face, major bullish patterns in your face. We have to kind of say, all right, what are the patterns saying here? Here's PayPal daily. Oh, this is all-time 886, isn't this? This is all-time 886 material. That's PayPal on your weekly time frame. Maybe this is a monthly shark. No, this isn't quite there. They're on the 886 level of the all-time measure. It looks like this. High to low would be 61. We didn't hit it yet. It would have been great. That would have been maybe the buy of the century, or at least the full reset. The fact that we did a full reset there. Many others have. Here's something that more speculative, is Teledoc thing. Came out as an IPO. Full 886. There's a bunch of these. I think Snap hit its all-time 886 in short order. There you go. Teledoc was 886 at 44. But they're all there. I mean, what are they going to do in the next 2 or 3 weeks? That's what we want to look for, because if they're going to give you an inflection at this 886, then you're early. You're extremely early. Oh, I know Nvidia's been getting hit lately. Maybe there's an opportunity down there. It was either this one or Taiwan Semi. Soon to be Beijing Semi. Yeah, I went there. Daily time frame Nvidia. Well, there's a 3-bar breakout. Oh yeah, check this out. Remember? That's what this was. Okay. I think we need to be looking at Nvidia now too. Check back at 165, now trading 178. First time you're clearing out 3 bars on the upside in a while. You're there. I mean, any kind of close above 172 is going to put you there. And this has confirmation. A lot of things. This is the kind of thing we want to see. Broke out of the downtrend. We know that we've already done a type 1 test. Went up to your confirmation. Back down. So now what? Now what? Well, by definition, we should look for target 2 at 293. Is that crazy? Could be, but that's the framework. I would say at a minimum, 261 would be a good minimum objective. And balance that out with just tell me what the next HSI is, where that comes into play. That's probably already started today. So again, I have been barking about this for 2 weeks. Basically the do or die scenario. And it's all can be found in the Nasdaq composite. I think everything that you're seeing, even the market cap, are we going to continue losing trillions of market capitalization? And here it is. I mean, this is the chart. Go to my Twitter feed and just go through how many posts I've done on this, where now we've done a 3 bar and another close above. That's what we want to see. You go back up into the zone, you're 1,000 points in short order. Where are we right now? And then I'm going to jump over to some of those energy monsters, which would be great. Get crude oil going, 12,300. All right, for today. Let's see if we got something on a 5-minute or even a 1-minute. Oh, wow, look at that thing. It's just on a tear. On a tear. Let's pull up a 5-second chart for a minute, folks. I like to do this with Harmonic Pattern Collection on eSignal. Here you go. Let's see if we can get some kind of pattern coming up. Oh, nice. All right, 5-second chart. If you really want to see patterns quickly and get a lot of patterns, real-time pattern example, well, we followed type 1, type 2 framework the same way. So let's just do this really quick. There's your type 1, you're over. Terminal bar, 886, all of that was at 85. Your target 1 was 93. It's not enough of a range, I don't find a trade off of, but let's just look at the framework 1, 2, how that should kind of come together, even on a micro chart like this. And this is if you come in late to the session and you're looking for, let's say Nasdaq's going to run to the close, which I think it could. You're up several hundred. You could continue another 100 or 2 easily by the end of the day. I would still want to look for a pullback. Give me something, give me a retest of that bat pattern, or maybe a 20-second chart. Let me boost it a little bit. Anything here? No. You're well extended for the day at that deep crab, but not much there on the bullish side. But I'll come back to this. Let's go to crude oil. Is crude oil running? Is it going to go? The crude oil situation, your trading 114 is refusing to go down. This kind of reminds me of what happened back in the area, the 65 to 75 area last year, basically in here. We're getting into the same thing. Now the software is generating a bearish bat on this retest. So what does that mean? We're going to shoot the gap where we have a verifiable BAM breakout up to 126 on this move. So I was thinking maybe we get a little bit of pullback or something. No, this looks like it wants to do it now. Also, take a look at what today will be. Just even on within the trend, it's another 3-bar breakout. 1, 2, last 3 bars. Clearly going to break above that and close above that. Last time you did that was here with the close, or even back here. Is a very strong move. Actually there. Actually back on the end of April. So this should be the one that gets us another 10 bucks and probably into the close. Think about it this way, that we are going to finish up May on a monthly chart. What will that look like? What will that monthly bar look like? That candle. There is the candle, monthly candles on crude oil. Incredibly strong. You want to talk about 8 weeks in one direction? This last move has been 7, working on 7, 3, 6 weeks. Yep. Look, we haven't even hit the crazy acceleration phase. That's my thought, that we're either going to break one, we're either going to roll over at 125, or we do the massive breakout at the 886 and we go higher to 265. It's an either or situation on crude oil. It's, it's either something comes out of the air and end of the war, end of whatever, which is not happening, and then here's natural gas, 940 new highs for the month, the day. Check out the day for nat gas. I mean, this is remarkable. This is where it goes to $15, folks. It's been tough. We didn't get the pullback on nat gas. We thought we'd get back to 7 or 650. You did back in May, but not here. But that's okay. I think at this point, most people are going to be best served looking at UNG. That's the ETF. Wow, already trading 31. There is a bearish setup here. There is a bearish daily crab that we've talked about, where it's one of the reasons why we're looking for some kind of pause pullback here. So I'm not recommending anything new at this point, but just get ready. It's not going to end in a week or a month. This nat gas and crude oil thing is with us for at least the next 2 years. Definitely for the rest of the year. I mean, just from a general standpoint, even if we get a nice pullback like that, which you would love now, everybody would love the pullback now. Everyone was hating this pullback back in December and then March. But here we are. And if you want to look for things about natural gas, go back as far as you can with my material. Go back 2 years ago, what we said about natural gas, and you compare with it today. Probably could spend a whole session doing that. Here's that Gush. Gush is another one of these double, triple ETFs. What's this? It's the 2x bullish producers on the daily. Yeah, we have another bearish pattern. Butterfly up here around 206 on Gush, but I would not expect much more than, say, quick pullback to say 180 and then go again. Get a little perspective on Gush, which is becoming like a boil, if you will. I mean, it's gone through a bunch of splits. This is a real funky ETF, okay? Really volatile, thinly traded. So I think XLE is probably, again, like UNG, the preferred vehicle. But that thing will run if oil gets out of hand. You're trading 205. There's XLE. I said this on Tuesday. XLE goes to 95. XLE is going up to 95. You're flashing some patterns now. You're 87, but listen, the monthly, your hop level on that's 103, and you're just roaring into that zone. It's getting as bullish as it can be. It really is. It's getting to a point where almost too bullish. And there's your monthly. Amazing. A lot of these energy charts have these patterns that formed back in some natural gas. It was 2008 for crude oil. And a lot of energy was 2014, 15. That, I think go to 100 on XLE minimum. There's a lot going on in this space, folks, and Again, all of it comes from the levels on the software. So if you're not working with the software, you want to work with the software, get with it. I mean, let's just pop over to, say, Boyle on the TradingView platform. And, we've been talking about that going to the 120 area. Let's see here. What happened to my chart? Oh, there you go. Hide that. So there's Boyle, folks. Someone mentioned this is the Nat Gas ETF. Couple of crab patterns. We're on a type 2. We know that. This hop, we've been looking at two areas, basically 120, 130, and then this hop as high as 150. Could hit. And the thing about that, it would maybe hit one day and come right off, just like you did the last couple of times. There at 125, that was a big dunk down to 70, same thing. So if you're in that Boyle, some of you are, be aware that 150 level might be just a massive reaction smackdown. But this is as strong as it can be across the board. One or two more. I want to go to really quick look at the SPY and the index, but here's the SPY on the monthly. Another coming into for the Dow and the S&P 500. We had this massive breakdown of the last year's range on the monthly chart. We want to be thinking we're going to be a week from now, not even. Where are we going to close actually on Tuesday? Because if we can come back, we can rally back today, tomorrow. Here you go on a daily time frame. That's pretty good. Trying to get off this floor here. I think there was something on a 2-day thing. A little longer term. Yeah, this is a shark on a 2-day pattern. Basically grabbing from last year's 886 was still the same 1618 metric of the October to December peak. This is a measurement for a lot of markets, a lot of stocks, that if you're at this level, some of your better stocks have only done a 1618 off of the October to December move, and we are responding to that level. That's for S&P, that's at 3930. A close above that would be super strong, and then to really clear out of this zone above 4080 gets us into a full type 1. Yeah, I think the SPY is just, look, you did, it's a good comment, Pete. No, I think you've done several days, and for the S&P 500 to do several days hammering out a low, I know if there were floor traders left, they would be all over that saying, okay, there's a temporary low here, at least for a 7-8 day move up. You're talking today, your day 5, 6 in that area at that 1618 without continuing lower. Sometimes that's the easy way to look at that. And we talked about this type of thinking on Saturday's session. You're at the 1618. We know that is an extremely critical, probably one of the most critical metrics on one of the most important markets, S&P 500. We're at a 1618 sell-off on the daily. What's it doing at that level? Can it continue through after hitting? Is it closing below? No, on all accounts. It looks ugly, but you're right there. And the day you hit it, you stop. So the day you hit that, you stop. Even if we go sideways 3-5 bars, that's still okay. Now we have an event day, a real something that get above 4080, 408 on the SPY, 4080 on the index. You'll at least get a reaction. We didn't have any HSI on this one. It's a Nick. Good question. Nick's asking how important is it to have HSI link up with RSI, some kind of RSI, like we use amplified a lot on this, and here's HSI. It's not in the zone. It's not oversold. The way we think about that is no confirmation, then probably just reaction off of there without anything other than going to your minimum targets. But you can still at least get a reactive move out of this low, and then maybe come back. This is something that happens a lot, where you could do a type 1 reaction without confirmation, come back, and then get confirmation here weeks later after you do the first move. And then maybe this is what you set up for the larger move months from now, because this whole structure has taken 6 months to develop. These are major swing retracement extension levels that are responding. But it would be better, obviously, to have confirmation, but we don't. But we do have price action. We have individual bars. We have 3-bar breakouts today, and those are signs, at least at a minimum. Okay, that's something to take hold of. Here's the index. It's generally the same. Sometimes you get slightly different measurements on the index versus the futures or the SPY. The SPY, the ETF, can be actually a little smoother in terms of the data, and so looking at ETFs is a good way to get maybe a larger perspective. We've done that with Bitcoin. But again, you're all about the 1618 on this. Looks like this. Come on. Hold on. There it is, 39.55 on the index. And you have to see a close above that. Last week was a close under, and that was pretty scary. This is first week of a bullish candle on the index. That is, okay, early sign. This is real early, but let's be aware that that's taking shape. And again, any close above that 40.80 level gets you going. So think of it like that. I think there's a lot of different markets that are flashing big patterns. You would hope that some of these are, can lead to bigger things. I don't think that you're going to jump out and get major moves, but I'll keep my eye on this. And the other thing with Bitcoin, just going sideways, folks, here. Absolutely frustrating. And it could be a real micro move of a quick retest at 25,741, and then you get going, but you're still here in some kind of target one move where 25,741, that should be hold really tight, and then see what happens from there. Yeah, I go to the other different data feed. So we'll come back on Monday, folks. That's what I have for today. Let's just keep an eye on it. Keep your eye on Nasdaq, most important than anything else. And crypto, maybe that can do something, some kind of reaction here. If it dips down and then springs back up, I still think that is possible. It just is the larger retest of what this has to do. Still has to go to 34,123, but maybe we're going to just really slide and get sloppy. We'll come back on Monday. Folks, get to the basic members page. That's what I want to direct everyone to, and get with the software. Everything that we talk about is responding to the levels that the software generates. So get with the free trials, and please do not even subscribe until you've taken the free trials. and then look at the material we give you. And again, if you purchase or upgrade, you get a gold membership, which has the added materials, the course, the other courses. So that's where you get the full experience. Okay. Beyond that, if you have any questions, reach out to me or Miss Stephanie in the Discord. And otherwise, we'll be back on Tuesday, not Monday. Monday's a holiday. Back on Tuesday. So until then, thanks again. Go get them. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your holiday. See you next week.